Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at Productronica 2019 on the Scoop Studio, and I am joined by Chinatan from CalcuQuote. Thanks for stopping by. Generally, we see you in the US, so it's unusual to see you here in Europe. What are you doing here?
Yeah, this is kind of our first journey into Europe. We're starting to attract more customers from Europe. We have been for a while organically. This is kind of our way of actually making an entrance into the region and actively starting to solicit business here and things like that. So I'm sure a lot of the European EMS companies are going to be hearing more from us over the next year.
Okay, fantastic. And your first Productronica, what's your impression? It's a behemoth of a show.
It is definitely a behemoth. I've been walking around, in between events and things like that since yesterday, and I think I've seen about 10% of the show so far. So a lot of cool new things being exhibited and a lot of very interesting booths and technology being displayed.
And interestingly, a lot of your customers are global players, global EMS players anyway, so I guess your product's actually already being used in Europe by some of those, so the natural extension is to reach out to European companies and approach them, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. So we started on this journey a little bit with our first customers in Europe and UK area sometime last year, and we said, okay, well, let's try it out, see how it works. And there is some complexities in dealing in European markets versus in US, where you've got multiple currencies and different warehouses that the distributors ship from and things like that. We've had really great success dealing with those early customers, and they're very satisfied with the solution. So it's time to kind of expand the scope of that now.
Yeah. So expanding the scope globally, but also expanding the scope of the solution itself a little bit. Tell me a bit about the product and how it's developing and how you're enhancing the solutions you provide.
Yeah, so basically the way we see our growth is it's on 3 dimensions. So the first one is geography, which we just talked about. The second one is industry. So traditionally we've worked with PCBA companies. We're also adding in cable and box build assembly companies and things like that. And then the third is functionality. So traditionally we've been doing quoting for EMS companies. Now we're doing quoting plus we're getting into purchasing. So the natural extension of having completed a quote is you win an order, and now you have to buy all of the materials for that. So we started using what we're calling Shop CQ to help entirely automate the purchasing process as well. And what that looks like is compared to the traditional model where you're issuing a purchase order to the suppliers, with Shop CQ, not only do you get real-time visibility into the stock, price, mins, mults, packaging of what the distribution channels can offer you, but you can also instantly interact with them to place orders, real-time confirmation, advanced shipment notifications, things like that, to make it as seamless of a transaction as possible. It's basically your inventory, it's just not converted from cash yet.
And it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because as you use digital transformation and that digital thread to accelerate and to take friction out of the quoting process, it just makes sense to use that data to follow through into purchasing.
Exactly, and it's there's a few differences as you get into the purchasing, right? You got to schedule out purchase orders. You're typically splitting what you're doing in terms of transaction, in terms of high volume purchases, demand forecast, things like that. But that's the kind of fun challenges that we've been really good at solving because we understand the EMS market quite a bit. That's kind of our core competency.
Yeah, and you have all the existing customers, and I guess voice of customer is a big part of your technology roadmap. I assume this has been in response to customers saying, "Hey, you're doing this for us, it's great, but what about this?"
Absolutely, yeah. Our customers definitely drive our roadmap. We have a really refined process of accepting customer feedback, getting a team of people to look at it, identify whether that's moving the industry forward, whether it's going to be an innovation that helps improve the process, and then turning that into quick releases. So every month we have releases made to the product to improve it to meet the feedback that our customers give us.
That's fantastic, and I guess this is a big push for 2020 for you to develop both geographically and in terms of product.
Absolutely, yeah. So the Shop CQ thing is going to be something that we'll be talking a lot more about. We've already got customers that are using it, placing purchase orders through it. They love it. It's been in private beta until now, and as of 2020, it'll be available to the public to use.
Well, fantastic, Chintan. It's great to see you here. Enjoy looking around the show. There's a lot of companies to see, a lot to learn, and we look forward to talking again soon, probably at Apex.
Yes, sounds good.
Thanks very much.